Welcome, everybody. It's time for some short track racing. For the third time this weekend, we are from Martinsville Speedway in Central Virginia. It's the Paperclip, and it's the ARCS Martinsville 200 here in short track racing country. I'm Carmen alongside my Kevin Young to bring you action for tonight's event. But it's time, first of all, to get qualifying underway. One of the first drivers on the track will be Josh Garrison. And Kevin, obviously, as qualifying gets underway, short track racing, we've seen a lot of it. We saw the Twiggy iRacing series on Friday evening. Last night we saw the ARC Saturday Night Showdown series. You weren't there for that one. But a lot of short track racing just did this weekend in general. Can I just walk us through what we're going to see right now?
Well, thank you for everyone that kind of stayed here for a third helping of Martinsville. It's quite a fun little track to come to. But basically, it's the same thing in the other two series. It doesn't really change in comparison to the other cars that run around here. It's brake hard into the corners, try to hold the bottom, and if you can't hold the bottom that well, you'll either get out the racing groove and get past that way and possibly get freight trained, or if you're daring enough, you may get a little tap on the rear and it may bump you out of the way to get you out of the way. So just be brave, be fast, be straight. And that's not what you want to do right now for that machine right there to just tap the inside wall. I believe that was the 18 of Joshua Garrison. Gonna really hurt his second lap there's time, and he'll have to come through the heats to get a little bit better of a starting spot. There's Donald Ray right now in number 2. Had a good race weekend last weekend. Looking to kind of counteract that, have another good week here in that number 2. All right, third on his first qualifying run here. He's going to find some good time to get up that top 2, but he could do it here in the second run. Across the line, what did he put down? Not an improvement, but it will still be third position for him, so he's looking good for the heats.
Another car running here, Toby Estes. And, Donald Ray, he's had an interesting weekend here at Martinsville. Had to recover from dire odds being turned around late last night. Hoping that he can have some better fortune this time around. 40 laps longer race tonight than what it was last night for the SNS series. Toby Estes' first lap in the books for him, and it is top of the board.
Big lap.
Absolutely mega lap for the 29. The Bandit Racing driver did a phenomenal job. David Wright went 5th fastest. Prophecy Motorsports putting themselves in the top 5, at least provisionally. Second lap in the books for Estes. Was it an improvement? It was. Just a little bit. Same margin that Donald Ray gained, so did Toby Estes.
Mm-hmm. That's going to give him a little bit more of a cushion. So 3 tenths above second place, 4 tenths. There's Tommy Reynolds going to come and spoil the party and is going to bump Toby Estes down the second. Still good to qualify in the front row, but a little less provisionally now.
Reynolds looking good. Qualified front row last night alongside Noah Belleville in that series competition at Martinsville. Reynolds went even faster there. 19.4 now the margin here. Ryan Pinnell had a 7th place finish last night. This is his first lap on the board. What does it look like for the number 12, 16th place?
I remember he got his first podium last week too, so he's looking to keep that momentum going high in that number 12. Second lap gonna have to be a little bit fast if he wants to get up there.
6 tenths the gap to the front. Gonna be difficult. What has he got? Is it an improvement? Not enough.
Yeah, 1 tenth was gained. So it was an improvement, but not
Donald
enough.
Ray's still running laps, too.
Good practice.
Brandon Fetter place. Number 34 for Line Power. See what he can do here. And the number 34. Obviously a race winner. Won at Watkins Glen last season. As a part-timer. Now in full-time competition, looking for that first win this season to get into the playoffs. First lap in the books for the number 34. Third fastest. That is a dangerous position to be. He could possibly get to the front row if he nails this lap.
We see 2 tenths, 3 tenths gained on the second lap here, so it's within reason he could jump Toby Estes here. He's going to have to good 3 and 4 here. It's looking all right now. Hugging the wall tightly. Is it enough to jump up the P2?
No.
It is not.
Was not faster that lap. Look at another driver that possibly could have a say at the front of the field. Bradley Wright, 3 times a podium finisher.
You got your eyes on Bradley Wright. I'm keeping an eye on Austin Pinnell right now. He was fastest in the practice session, so I'll have to keep an eye on a couple drivers here. And it looks like he bailed on his first warm-up lap here, so he'll come back around. So
importantly, he did that without crossing start finish line to take that first lap. So he's still got both laps at his disposal. Very smart play. Bradley Wright not so fast here, 20th fastest on the first lap. And then we'll switch to Purnell and see what he does. Leiter goes 15th.
And lap for Bradley Wright in the books, and that's going to jump up to 18th.
Purnell for Black Acid, just starting his run. First lap underway for the 32 for Black Acid Racing. His team boss, James Kerr, in the top 10 provisionally. Purnell has a chance to bump him off of that. A little wide through 3 and 4. See if that gains him any time. See what kind of lap he runs. Second place.
Oh, just barely over Toby Estes.
Just barely. Reynolds still a 10th clear. But Purnell moves to the front row and not only skips the heats with how things are looking right now. Was not fast that second lap, but it doesn't matter. He is second fastest, and Irish George, the only driver in this field to have not set a lap time, has run through qualifying and has burnt both his laps. So Purnell is safely on the front row here in Martinsville. Phenomenal job by Austin Purnell. So he joins Tommy Reynolds at the front of the field, and they will skip the heats and go straight towards the main event tonight.
Yeah, you could put basically a paperclip between both Austin Purnell and Toby Estes' times. They were that close. Both ran 19.52s respectively, but only a little bit closer into the temps is what separated them. That's going to give Purnell basically a sigh of relief as he cannot lose his position while Toby Estes could start farther back.
So, you see the top 20 in qualifying on your screen on the left-hand side. Tommy Reynolds, pole position once again. That number 7 for Bandit Racing has been on fire this season. Obviously, winner at Richmond, winner at Phoenix, but he has been nigh unstoppable in this season so far, looking for his third win. He started, obviously, when he won Richmond, he started second there, but a front row start at Richmond. You look at, he started 9th at Bristol Dirt and finished in the 5th position last week. So you kind of go back for Tommy Reynolds here. Just phenomenal consistency in the number 7 machine. Reynolds, a second place start at Circuit of the Americas. That was back, trying to see if I can figure out, if I can find the date for that, but that was the 8th race of the season, so that was about a month ago.
Yeah, that would be following the actual NASCAR calendar here, so what was the 8th race of the calendar?
You have to go all the way back. You have to go all the way back to Atlanta, which was a plate race where Reynolds did not qualify in the top 10. He qualified 18th in that race and finished 11th. Reynolds started 5th and won Phoenix, the first race he won this season. You look a little bit further back, 4th place starting position at Vegas. Auto Club Speedway, Reynolds started 7th in that race, all the way back to Daytona, where I believe, if I look real closely here, Reynolds started 28th because he missed the duels.
Yeah.
So like, you just look at how everything's sort of shaping up here. Reynolds has been consistently near the front of the field every qualifying session. This will be his first pole, I believe, this season, looking at all the information that we've got there. But a well-earned one. And Austin Purnell, obviously consistency growing there for him as well. Obviously, with a minute left in qualifying, take a chance for everyone that's watching live on Twitch or on abnesports.com. We appreciate you spending your time with us here on a wonderful Sunday evening. Warm here in ABN Studios, but nonetheless, we're happy that you're here. We had a broadcast earlier. It was the 45 minutes of Long Beach for the ABN Hyper GTP series. So first time we've had a double header in the same day, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's about to get serious.
It is going to get serious in heat racing. And just one more thing I want to say on Tommy Reynolds that came to mind. Remember, Tommy Reynolds was picked in the second round of the A-Square draft. Every team had a chance to pick him up, and he fell to the second round, and that's quite a steal in comparison to what he's put performance-wise on the calendar so far. I'm not saying the drivers ahead of them have been no slouches either. You've seen Joshua Gaiman, he's been quite strong. Brandon Fetterplace, for instance, as well. Austin Pinella, obviously, on the front row as well. Brent Roberts. So it's not a slouch that anyone picked ahead of him or behind him. It's just saying that he has been performing quite well. Basically, basically a diamond in the rough in that draft. But 5 seconds left here. Qualifying is going to come to an end, and we're going to get ready for heat racing.
Yes, we will, and this is what it's going to look like here. We'll pull up the starting grid for heat race number 1. It's Toby Estes and Cody Riggs front row for this heat race. Josh Gaiman, Tommy Withers in row number 2. Obviously, we look a little further down. James Kerr, Kevin Feemster, Bren Roberts, Stephen Oberstadt, Bradley Wright, and Jack Mulkey in the top 10. Then Jonathan Honebrink in the 11th position, the last place here in heat race number 1. But that is how that is going to look here. Obviously, you look at the race info, 71 degrees the air temp, 98 degrees the track temp. So a little bit warm. Tires will wear a little bit here. Obviously, lower profile tires, a little bit more sensitive in those Goodyear Eagles. Importantly, very little wind, so not a lot of play as far as how these cars are going to react under braking, which is going to be important. A little bit more stability.
Yep, you want that stability, especially around here when the bottom is key, and you want to pinch it on the bottom, make sure a car doesn't get under you. That stability is definitely going to be something to note.
The cars begin rolling. All 11 cars in heat race number 1 will undergo the race here.
And like we say almost every week, there are no cautions in the heat races as well, so it is green to finish. If you have an accident, you will have to pull it off or try to keep it going. And whatever spot you get is where you will start on the inside line for the main race.
Two formation laps are what we're going to see here. Starting the second formation lap. Heat race number 1. Kevin, I'll let you take this one away because I got to go get a refill on my drink real quick.
All right.
But Kevin, take this one away. It's going to be an 11. It's going to be a 10-lap heat race, I believe.
Yep, you are correct.
So, going to be an interesting one. See how bumpy everything gets early. See how many people get ruffled feathers early on.
Yep, this is where you want to keep your tempers kind of close here, obviously with the main race coming up, and also you don't want to show your hand too quickly. But the pace car is going to pull on in here. It's going to be on green. Come off of 4. Green flag in the way in the air, and it's going to be the start of Heat 1 here. You can already see a good launch and already a car in the war. That's a 21 of Kevin Feemster, and that's going to be pretty much almost race over for the Heat here. We'll still follow on with the action, and there goes Joshua Gaiman as well. Cody Riggs hits a little bit bump into him, and that's going to cause basically allow Toby Estes to check out here for the first position. All pace and pandemonium here. Toby Estes is going to check out. You can still see the smoke for what happened with Kevin Feemster's little incident. He has got it rolling, but he's well off the pace here, per se. So we'll try to wait for my co-commentator to come back here because they are manning the cameras, so we'll just have to kind of cover what we can. So there's Toby Estes pushing away here. We've got a good battle forming for second, as now third, as Brent Roberts is going to try to challenge James Kerr here for position. So keep an eye on the ticker to the left of your screen. Should be able to identify what is going on as Cody Riggs is trying to hang on the second here. Again, this is probably what you want to see if you're Toby Estes right now. Pandemonium behind you and basically smooth sailing. No real risk of a bump, and I think that is the sign Carmen has gotten back in the studio, so we'll focus on the battle here for second. You can see a big train forming back on Cody Riggs. 5-6 cars fighting between Kerr, Roberts, Wright, Withers, and Oberstop, all trained behind Riggs here.
Yeah, I have made it back to the studio.
You missed a lot of chaos. Feemster went around right off the finish line, and then Joshua Gaiman got a little bump from Cody Riggs, and that turned him around.
Yeah, I stepped away. I was like, well, maybe it's not going to be that crazy. But I had to refill my water bottle. For those that aren't really aware, I'm under the weather, so I've been going through water like crazy. But yeah, I came back and was like, wow, Toby's alone here. Interesting. Oh, and there's trouble again. That's Michelle.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, that's Withers. Excuse me. Wrong color palette.
Yep, Tommy Withers falls off touch here from the pack. Oh, thing just hooked to left there on him.
Again, he is struggling big time. He's just gonna tow.
Yeah, not worth
a bad choice there.
Yeah, not worth risking a penalty or the RAF for the stewards there if you're not feeling comfortable with it. He'll have warm up to try to get some last minute adjustments. There's Brendan Roberts trying to take advantage of James Kerr here, but just can't get the car to the inside. Pretty much running similar lap times up in that top three. Kerr's not close enough to Riggs. Riggs gets a little wheel hoppy there.
Riggs got spun.
That's gonna cause a stack up 4 cars involved. Split the middle.
Oh no.
Jack Mulkey couldn't make it through, but Briley Wright did.
Wow. Steven Oberstadt made like a bandit there.
Oh, Oberstadt,
Pardon the pun with Briley Wright being a bandit racing driver, but Steven Oberstadt for Beachron Racing did a phenomenal job recovering with that. Third place for him. Pandemonium on track in our chat. What's going on? It's Martinsville. It's heat racing.
Martinsville, yep. One word, Martinsville.
Yeah. 2 laps to go in heat 1.
Yeah, Riggs just kind of got a little bottled up. Kerr tried to take advantage in just the whole close, and just that's short track. There's only one way to pass, and if you give it up, someone's going to try to take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Kerr took advantage, and it paid off for him. Sitting in second there, pretty easy.
Only thing is he may have a few drivers not too thrilled with him when we get to the main Shabam here. But starting final lap here, Tobias is already in the backstretch here. Got one lap car to try to get around. That is the 29 of Briley, 23 of Withers, I should say, 3 laps down. And that is Tobias. It's probably one of the easiest wins he'll get. Crosses line in first position. James Kerr going to get a good qualifying spot here with that number 75 Black Acid Racing Machine in second. And then there's third, Oberstadt, made it like a bandit, like you said, will get third. Mulkey will survive for fourth. And Joshua Gaiman, who was wrong way around on lap 1, will still a top 5 starting position. Well, top 5 position in this heat and good starting position for the race.
Yeah, start 11th in the main event.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Have a chance to regather and recoup for heat 2. Let's see if it's any more calm than heat 1. It's typically the law of opposing forces. If heat 1's crazy, heat 2's typically calm, and inverse, vice versa. Brandon Fetterblace will lead us to the green flag here. Alongside will be Seth Wanzing, our in-race reporter here for the Ace for a Cup Series. Donald Ray and David Wright in row 2. Tom Sears and Rebreo in row 3. Matt Leiter, Josh Garrison will be in row number 4, with Brian Rupert, Ryan Pinnell in row 5. And Irish George rounding out the field of 11 cars in this heat.
Yep, you are correct. As quick little grid up there, they're already right away. Still 2 laps of warm-up, though. Obviously, drivers from Heat 2 learn from what Heat 1 provided, and should be a little bit of a learning experience, if you will.
I'm not sure what all you could have learned from those first 10 laps in Heat 1 other than let's not turn into a merry-go-round.
I'd say maybe a bit of patience. That could be a word.
Everyone really kind of playing games on the formation laps here. Not very often we see these kind of like shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mind games are a part of racing. You see it all the time with drivers duping pit lane or just trying to psych out the driver ahead. Get it? Because launch is key, especially around here. Those pace are going to pull in here. It's going to be Featherplace and Wanzing on your front row here. 10 more laps for Heat 2. Let's get it done here. Green in the air. And away we go. At least a little bit calmer off the line. Heading into 1. It's going to be Wanzing and Featherplace fighting. Wanzing knows he has to try to get aggressive here to keep that second spot, as Donald Ray's already going to be up on his inside.
And Donald Ray's not afraid to send it either. Not afraid to get physical for it. Especially no cautions here.
Yeah, he knows that's the preferred line. Needs to just keep the nerve, and eventually he'll get it, and he will successfully do it. Wanzing going to play it smart here. Check it up, take the open space, and sure, he'll keep third. Now have to be on the attack, though, and Donald Ray not comfortable. There goes Tom Sears in the back, along with David Wright, and it's a bit of a merry-go-round as we also see the 83 of Leiter as well.
Leiter's around. That's the
and there's
88 of Rupert. Ours George is a part of it. Ryan Pinnell was a part of it.
Yep.
And at the front of the field,
Donald
Ray has gotten to the front. And Matthew Leiter's still hanging around backwards here. 12-lap heat. Yeah. And Donald Ray's used the chaos to get to the front.
Yeah.
Also, apologies in advance. My voice is starting to go away now.
Yep. I guess I'll have to take the heavy lifting here tonight. And there's Wanzing and Featherplace fighting for second. And Wanzing going to get around Featherplace. Featherplace going the wrong way quickly. And now have the defending champion Breo on his rear. Only positive, at least if he loses out, he'll be probably finish no worse than fourth. But if you want a perfect example of the importance of qualifying, getting that front row starting spot, right there. Because Brandon
100%.
Featherplace would have, if qualifying was normal, he would have started fourth. Now he's looking at a 8th place starting spot, maybe 10th, if he ends up getting passed by Breo here.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a huge difference. Especially at these short ovals where it means so much.
And Breo going to make a move here on the 34. Saw an opening, took the inside.
Probably the punchiest field we've seen all weekend. Obviously, you were with me there on Friday night for the Twiggy Racing Series as Breo gets loose.
Oh, yep. And that's going to check them both up, and that's going to allow, well, David Wright to come on up in here and try to avoid the chaos.
And he's going to pick it off here a little bit because there's Leiter spinning as well.
Leiter's not for position. So
yeah, Leiter still laps down here, but still, the chaos on the front straightaway is immense.
Yeah. That's going to give Wright and Garrison. Remember, Garrison had not a good time in qualifying, now making a net gain. Question is, can Wright make anything happen? Because he had that incident on lap 1 with Sears, and now, again, looking at a nice net gain.
Wild stuff here going on. Obviously, you were looking at this battle with 4th place. This is David Wright and Josh Garrison trying to chase down Brandon Featherplace. At the front, it's again like we saw in Heat 1. Smooth sailing there for Donald Ray.
Donald Ray. Only thing is he's got 1 lap car ahead of him here with 2 to go, but with Wanzing not really in pressure range, he doesn't have to really force it around the 88 of Brian Rupert. But coming to the white flag lap here, he's just going to kind of pull the side here and keep it out of the way, and he'll get around, and Steph Wanzing will follow suit.
You and I both saw the same thing. Both of us kind of took a gasp. It was like, oh no.
He's coming left.
Phenomenal job by Donald Ray.
Half a straight to go. It's been an all right season so far, but this will definitely at least put him in the right direction. Donald Ray will win Heat 2 here, and Steph Wanzing will come home second in the heats. And then a little bit further back, there's Featherplace, who will keep 3rd position. Well, we'll get 3rd position, I should say, with Wright and Garrison rounding out the top 5.
All right. Oh, Elwes Georgia spun. Lost a spot to Breo, and it will lose a spot.
2 spots. Yeah.
Georgie won't drop further than 8th, but
yeah,
that's a bit more of a gut punch there. Oh dear.
Well, this will give us a chance to catch our breaths. Hopefully the field can calm down a bit, work out what was maybe ailing them, because we got a 5-minute warm up, and then the main feature.
We have 24 cars tonight.
Yep. 200 laps in Martinsville waits after 5 minutes here.
Wild stuff. Wild, wild, wild stuff. So, what are the odds that some people have some hurt feelings right about now?
Yeah, I can think of a couple. I can think of at least a couple right now, and that was just the heat. That's why I was kind of saying before when you went to go get your drink, is that don't show your cards too early, because now some drivers are going to be like, all right, that's how you're going to race me in that situation. No love lost.
Let's see if I can I'm going to see if I can pick apart Josh Gaiman's brain here. He's in the chat, so I know that he's available. Let's see if I can pick him up for an interview here. Josh, if you're able to hear us, are you okay if we put you in for an interview in this pre-race?
Keep an eye on the chat here, see if he says anything.
Because we'll pull him in here if he's okay with it. Because obviously, it's been an up and down weekend for him. Obviously, he's already raced once today, and it was a third place finish in DT1 in the Hyper GTP series. Obviously, he's moving to the prototype class beginning of America in 2 weeks, but.
I mean, one positive is at least he's got a playoff victory here. He won last week at Dirt Bristol, so he's got that mulligan in his back pocket just in case. So, unlike some other drivers, that this could be a good opportunity to kind of lock themselves into the playoffs, put themselves in a good spot. Gaiman does not have to really worry about that.
He's on track, so I have a feeling he's not going to answer. We'll see if we can talk to Seth Wansing in the pre-race, though. Speaking of which, there's Seth flipping in I think that was turn 4.
Yep, that was turn 3 to turn 4 right there. Some drivers are going to have to practice pit road entry and exit as well, because it can be a little bit tricky getting that car low down for pit road speeds.
So we'll talk to the Seth Wansing real quick here.
Okay.
Seth, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Carmen, I got you.
Alrighty, obviously it's gonna be an interesting one. We saw you have a little bit of a excursion there, flipping in the air there in warm up. But how you feeling right now? That number 9, it looks like it's gonna be pretty fighty today.
Yeah, it's Martinsville is one of my favorite tracks. Love this place. Gonna try to get that 213 somewhere. Midwest Barbecue, Napa Know-How Chevy up front, and keep it there, Carmen. And just stick around. See if definitely a top 5 is the goal, but a win is not out of play either. It's such a rhythm track, and that's what I love about it. Just getting those long runs, getting under rhythm is the biggest thing. So, we'll see how it all plays out, and hopefully avoid the chaos. And again, just try to get in that little rhythm there with the braking zones and all that deal, and get the car set up right. Track's a little tight right now, but it'll wear in.
Well, obviously, you know what you're expecting here tonight, and obviously, we're going to keep an eye on you throughout the race. You'll be our in-race reporter tonight, and we'll talk to you during the stages, or during the stage breaks anyway. But Seth, good to see that at least you've got a game plan, you're working on it. So we'll let you kind of get back there with your team before we get this thing underway. But we'll be keeping an eye on you, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Kevin, up there for broadcasting with her, and hoping to have a great race. Everybody at home, buckle up, grab some dinner or your favorite treat and an adult beverage or soda, and enjoy the show.
Absolutely, Seth. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joke's on him. I do not eat till after these races.
I ate before. We're good. And as far as drinks, I'm going to need to take some Dayquil. I've already taken some Dayquil, so no worry about it. But sore throat for me, so it'll be interesting. I have to do Pocono tomorrow night for HTL. I am screwed.
You need a hot tag. I'm here.
I might. I am feeling rough. I'm feeling really rough, but I'm not going to be the only one feeling rough. As much as I feel right now, there's going to be a few ruffled feathers going on in this race when we get down to it.
Yeah, at least you're not driving the car right now. Like, you're sitting in a comfy booth watching this. Yeah, if you're driving the car right now, your tempers will be flaring. And that's going to be earlier.
We're good. I'm not doing... I've already done one race. I'm good. Oh, phenomenal stuff. All right. Again, for everyone that's tuning in, we appreciate you spending your time with us on a Sunday evening. Hopefully you're all having as much fun as we are. You just gotta enjoy it. It's short track racing. This is our ARCS bread and butter. They've got different series doing short track stuff on Mondays. But here's the starting grid. Obviously, front row, we talked about how important being out of trouble means. And it's even more important today. Tommy Reynolds, Austin Purnell on the front row. Toby Estes, Donald Ray in row 2. Then it's James Kerr and Seth Wansing in row 3. Stephen Oberstadt, Brandon Fetterplace, row number 4. Rounding out the top 10, you've got Jack Mulkey and David Wright. And obviously, as we page through here, is a lot of ups and downs here. There's going to be a lot of drivers being more aggressive in this race, especially once we get into it here. Obviously, stage breaks will have a factor, but drivers will be trying to get some stage points early here and capitalize on the chaos.
I think a few drivers definitely going to be aggressive. Joshua Gaiman in 11th, Jeremy Breo in 14th. You got Tom Sears starting in the back as well. 3 drivers very strong that had not great heat runs due to one reason or another, and now they're coming from the back, and they're going to have to be aggressive to try to get themselves up in a playing position, because maybe you don't want points in stage 1 nor stage 2, but you got to be in a situation to win this thing by the end of stage 2, so they're going to have to be aggressive to get up there.
Again, for those that are tuning in, I'm Carmen Hardy. Alongside me, Kevin Young. You'll probably hear his voice more as the race goes on, because my voice will continue to fail. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, Martinsville, it's the paperclip. It's a punchy track. It's an elbows-out sort of track. The primary way to pass is to use the chrome horn. Use a little bit of that bump and run, and there's some drivers that can do that to perfection. We're looking at one of them with Tommy Reynolds. Toby S. is another one that's really good at it. Donald Ray really good at it. So a lot of good drivers that can be elbows out but still be clean about it at the front of the field. That is what we love to see, and hopefully we get to see a lot of them race a long run pace here at Martinsville here tonight. But we're about to go green. Kevin, you'll take the honors and lead us off and lead us to green.
All right. We got Tommy Reynolds and Pinnell. Pace car going to pull on off here. Drivers taking their last little prayers and their last little thank yous. I'm going to get on going here. Green flag in the air, and away we go for the Martinsville race, as it's going to be Tommy Reynolds coming in. He's going to try to hold the inside here. We already got a little bit of a blink there from the 29. He'll keep it going. Now, Oscar Pinnell's going to have to try to find his way quickly down. We're all clean for the most part through the back. No incidents to speak of, as Tommy Reynolds is going to come off a 4 here, and he's going to lead lap 1. With side-by-side, Oscar Pinnell and Toby Estes fighting. 2 drivers that were split by a paperclip during qualifying are now fighting for the second position, the rights of it, and it looks like Toby Estes is going to end up winning that battle, and Pinnell going to fall down to 3rd.
Honestly, not a bad idea either. Kind of fall into a rhythm really quick, get into a position where you can get to your favorite line and go from there. Obviously, we're looking from the turn 1, turn 2 grandstands as we sort of look through here. Very clean opening couple laps. Jack Mulkey having a little bit of latency issues. He may be dropping back here a little bit in that number 27 machine, trying to keep things clean. But so far, phenomenal start as Wansing slips around.
There's your jinx. You just jinxed him, Carmen.
He's still green. Obviously, Seth, not great, but... Oh, and there we go. Trouble for Garrison, who just kind of came down in front of the nose of Wansing there, and there's the caution. Yeah, there's the jinx. Not sure where Wansing could have gone there with Garrison coming down across his nose, but...
Yeah. Just an oddball situation.
So first 5 laps looked really, really good. And we're going to see something we haven't seen all weekend, and that being the choose cone.
Correct.
They don't have it in SNS on Saturday nights. They don't have them in Twiggy. So we get to see something a little bit more unique. Again, ARCS follows a lot of the NASCAR traditional rules. So the choose cone, the stage breaks, obviously the win and end playoff system. They go the full 9 yards, the kit and caboodle, as far as the NASCAR rules go. And obviously some series will kind of modify things. Obviously, you look at HTL tomorrow night. They don't do the choose cone, but they have the win and end playoffs. Their playoffs begin tomorrow night at Pocono. But obviously, you look at tonight, like, it's the full kick and caboodle, and for Seth Wansing, he's going to have to rely on that choose cone now to make up some of the spots he just lost.
Yeah, choose cone is quite important here because the inside is king, but for the drivers that feel aggressive, they can try to take that high side, and if they think they can clear Tommy Reynolds to get a jump, they can definitely make it work. So we'll take a look at the replay here, and you already see Seth Wansing. We saw it on main broadcast what happened, but we'll take a look back here, and you're just going to see he gets loose off of 4. And the wall was his only saving grace.
Yeah, it just gets loose. They're trying to give it off of James Kerr, and not as bad of a contest as I thought it was.
Yep, and
but
then
you see this, yeah, as you're going to point out. We'll actually slow it down for you. You see Wansing's already to the inside, and Garrison thinks he's going to just clear, and he's not.
Yeah.
Just
it was a closing speed issue. He thought he was going faster than Wansing was and thought he'd get down before it happened.
Yeah, he was just trying to avoid giving up position because it's, as Seth even pointed out, like it's very momentum based, and obviously you see the melee in slow motion there as Rupert gets spun around. Caution comes out at this point in time. Wright's trying to avoid it. Sears does a really good job avoiding the spinning Brian Rupert. Great job for number 14.
He almost patches the back of Garrison too, so he luckily got away with nothing basically from what it looked like was going to happen.
But for Garrison, I understand Garrison's urgency there of trying to make stuff happen. Because you're trying to avoid giving up that inside line. You want to have the full racing lane from the bottom to the wall. And you don't want to give that up. Obviously, we're getting ready to go right back racing here because no one's a lap down.
Yeah.
But very rough look at it so far. And unfortunately, it negatively affects a lot of people there.
Yep, a few drivers took the outside, including Donald Ray and Jack Mulkey, all pushed up here, but Tom Brown's going to get a good jump. Ospinel gets a bit of wheel spin, and that's going to allow Toby Estes to sneak on the inside. Donald Ray, seeing the inside kind of choosing, I saw Ray and Kerr both take the inside instead of lining up single file outside because they could have a chance to capitalize. And Donald Ray just not going to be close enough to get the fender in, so Pinnell will survive the challenge, but will not capitalize off that restart as Reynolds leads another lap here.
Reynolds doing a good job. Purnell trying to hound Estes a little bit there. We're seeing that number 32 and the 29 go at it. Donald Ray right behind them.
74, 61, 27. Mulkey, Gaiman, and Breo.
All teammates from Beatron. What? Boys, calm down a little bit. Gaiman ended up best out of that because he ended up getting a 2-for-1 down the middle. That is right down Broadway for Josh Gaiman, and it worked.
It was a game of chicken. Beatron Race is like, we're racing each other for what we can get. And Gaiman ends up being the big winner there.
As a driver, as a commentator, it's like, wow, that's impressive. As a driver, especially if you're like Brent Roberts and you're like seeing all that in front of you, you're like, oh no, not again. That's rough.
Not what you want to see, yeah.
But now that everything's kind of settled down a little bit, Brent Roberts is starting to pick off things a little bit here. That number 1 for Sunday Monday Racing. Obviously, that team now in the back foot a little bit with none of their cars really where they want to be. But Ben Roberts just now getting in the top 10.
Yep. Ben Roberts obviously had a bad, poor heat run. Going to use this opportunity to get up closer here. He's making that car work to what he needs. Well, as we just said, I think we put a little bit of a curse on him. He just smacks the hard wall on the outside. That's going to lose him 2-3 spots. And you're going to wonder if that car's got a little bit of an ailment right now with how hard he tipped it.
And these cars are a lot more sensitive. We hear that a lot from drivers, that the cars are a lot more sensitive, the suspension is a lot more sensitive, the wishbones and the track bars are so much more sensitive to contact, and especially if you're coming out of the corner and your wheels turned.
That's 38. Oberstop, he just towed.
He is not towed yet. He is still pointed in the wrong direction, but he is trying to get that point away, and he is facing now the wrong direction. He's out of the way, so they're going to try to keep it green, but Oberstadt will go a lap down and change by the time he gets himself pointed back around. But luckily, everyone's still close together, so he can just drop the clutch and go, like what he's going to do right now. Didn't drop the clutch, but he's going to do a 3-point turn.
You have to hurry here. Here come the leaders again. Yeah, hold the brake. Yep. Now he's a little bit higher up, though, so he's going to lose 2 laps.
But they're trying to keep it green, and I appreciate this, and he's going to get it rolling here, and I applaud ARCS for letting him try to figure it out and being communicative with Oberstadt there to get him back and rolling in a safe manner without having to neutralize the entire race. Not many series will do that. Yeah. But they did a really good job, and Oberstadt obviously avoiding having to tow and lose what would be 5 laps here at Martinsville. Really good job getting him back rolling without having to pause everything in motion.
Yeah, great on race control, Matthew Kent there. Good call there on the read, let it play out, and it worked out perfectly. He was low the racing line, was not a threat, and he got it refired. So good on all there, and we keep going green. As I think Toby Estes had a mistake, I believe, as he's dropped out. It was just a lag out because saw him falling down the timing and scoring there.
Yeah, he's just a little bit latency issues. Again, the Bandit Racing team headquartered out of Greensboro, Kentucky. Obviously, Kentucky gang represent. Obviously, I'm from a completely different part of the state, but a little bit latency issue. We see it come and go, and there's been storms in this area. Obviously, ABN Studios located in Ohio. There's been storms in this area that's kind of messed with things, and that's sort of where we see that flare coming up for Estes, is that it's a little bit of a storm spike. And Bradley Wright has had a couple issues like that as well in the number 8 machine. So it's just a little bit of a weather interference there, but he is in a good spot. Obviously, not in danger to anybody. He's an even gap between Reynolds. Oh, trouble! That's a car that was spun around, and that is Withers.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Withers' eBay machine. It is. Had to get the binoculars out there for a second.
Yeah, Withers got spun around, and again, a really good call by Race Control, letting them race on without neutralizing the field. Obviously, for Withers, obviously it sucks that he now a lap down here, but able to race it back, and obviously for everyone else, it's a good thing being able to just race through everything here and be able to develop that momentum.
Yep. Because momentum's key around this track. That's what kind of causes cautions around here is when it's start and stop, stop and start.
We talk about breeding cautions. That it's a big thing here. You look at tracks like this, tracks like Bristol when it's paved. A lot of caution to breed cautions mentality there. And obviously, ARCS Race Control, ARCS series staff, very well aware of that and doing a really good job of avoiding another car around. That is Ryan Pinnell.
Yep.
In the number 12. So cars just looping on their own, a little lead footy off the corners here, especially off of turn 4. Turn 4 has been the problem corner all race.
Probably right. Just had a similar incident as well off 4, similar to Wanzing. You have to see him on the inside as well. Yeah. We can add so far, I think 6 cars. I think we can count to that list of drivers that just got a little too.
It's all been turn 4.
Yeah.
Brent Roberts tagged the water too, but he didn't spin. He was tight. And Wanzing talked about the track being tight. I wonder if there has been a pit. We'll see if we can pull up the weather menu here. There's not been a huge wind
Sears, actually, got to cut that off. Tom Sears had an incident in 2, and that's going to bring out the caution.
Yeah, there we go.
Sears, Mulkey, and Feemster involved.
And that is in turn 2. So as we were speaking of the trouble corners, Tom Sears involved in that one. We'll see.
It was Sears. We'll wait for the replay to come up before we explain it, but I think it was Sears making a move on Mulkey, and the door closed.
Yeah, this is what it's going to look like here. Sears looking at Mulkey.
Oh, he got the curve.
Yeah, there was space there. Sears is such a gentleman. He tried leaving Mulkey more space than he needed to. Sears very much not a physical driver by any means of definition. We saw him last year in the Champ Car Series. He's always been a very courteous driver. But he knew he was trying to make a move happen. And obviously that's what happens there. Sears just clipped the curving, trying to give space to Mulkey when he could have been a little bit more greedy there. But that's just not Tom Sears' nature. But I'm impressive that he tried it and almost made it stick.
Yep, being a gentleman or a gentlewoman or whatever on track is definitely something that's going to be quite courteous. Will get you a lot of favor and a lot of kurtzmanship, but at the end of the time, it may sometimes put you in bad situations like that. But I think at the end of the day, Mulkey's happy he didn't get mowed over there. But a few drivers behind him that got including Kevin Feemster, not going to be too thrilled to what happened.
I think you can kind of understand it, though, because Feemster sees it happen here. And Sears just tries to avoid the contact, and obviously, you see Mulkey just kind of just stay up high and let it all happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're right on board with Tom Sears here. This is already late into it, but you see just the kind of line that he's running here in the number 14. Obviously, his race win last season came at a plate track. Aggressive move, and it almost paid off, but unfortunately, and obviously, Feemster very lucky to get away with just very minor damage there in the 21. But very impressed that that could have been a lot worse and it wasn't.
Oh yeah, 100%. So we got 2 to go, 2 to green here. We're gonna have choose next time by.
Yep.
We're gonna kind of wonder as we're getting close to the stage. Well, we got plenty of laps till the stage end, but stage window is coming closer. It raises the question, will Toby Estes maybe try to go high side here, or will he follow with the logic he picked under the first caution restart and stay low? Does he value the bottom, or does he want to take a chance and maybe lunge it around the top? So he'll get the choose here, so we'll get that question answered. Reynolds going to go low. Estes going to go low. Purnell going to go high. Donald Ray going to go high. No, low. So last minute fake there. Before the line, though, so it's technically legal.
Yeah, the line's the choose mark. As long as you're not changing lanes by the time you get to the start-finish line, it's legal.
So it's going to be Reynolds and Purnell on the first lane, and then it's going to be Estes and David Wright going to kind of clean up a few spots.
Where have we seen this before? It's almost we saw this on the initial start.
Yeah. So Green back out in the air, and away we go again. Purnell not getting that good launch he needs, and he's going to be under pressure here early from Estes as Reynolds going to come on down and clear. I can hear a little bit of scraping and scratching, but everyone's still pointing in the right direction. Purnell going to challenge out here, but he's just going to go a bit too deep in the corner, and he's going to overcook it. Gaiman a little bit squirrely there, as you can see, fighting Feather Place there, a little bit back for 6th position. Again, this is what Tommy Reynolds wants to see right now. Just two file back, and he can just kind of run his own little pace here.
Yeah, Reynolds has to love what he sees right now. He's looking for race win number 3. What a tear he's been on so far this season. Obviously, a lot of race left, over 160 laps to go, but Reynolds so far, early running so far shows that he has been doing a phenomenal job.
Yep. Definitely one of the strong drivers you see. Only driver so far this season with 2 wins. And there's Ryan Purnell with a slight mistake. Got to check up through the zone.
Managed to get it turned back around with little issue, but he's now the last car on the lead lap. As Withers had a similar issue and out of turn 4. Another issue in turn 4 for Withers. That's his second. Obviously, Withers playing with house money. Won at Vegas earlier this year.
Yep.
But not what he was looking for.
Only thing right now is he's in a bit of a Rookie of the Year battle with Austin Purnell, and Austin Purnell having such a good run, that's going to put a little bit of pressure on Tommy Withers to try to keep the good momentum going.
See if we can rattle more with the 2 at Donald Ray real quick. Kind of give you a perspective as to how difficult it is to make something happen at the front of the field here. Obviously, you see Purnell right in front of him. David Wright behind him. Pan around backwards here. That's right. Blocking off a move by Feather Place.
Yes,
and he's still trying to block off that move.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's in Donald Ray's rearview mirror right now.
Yeah, and it just shows you have to try to get the lunge into a corner, and the only way you can do is try to outbrake. But if you try to outbrake your opponent and they block off the corner, you're just going to end up sending them off into the shadow realm. So there's a risk-reward situation. Like, you just kind of have to stay close, get the run off the corner, and try to
like that.
Put you side by side. And at this point, if you can hold it, but right there, aggressive clearance there. Something you won't see on lap 199, but on lap 40, Feather Place will show some mercy to the car ahead.
Yeah, Feather Place showed some mercy and got bumped by Gaiman. Pressure upon pressure upon pressure.
Perfect example of next driver up. If you can't make the pass, I will do it for you.
This is from the mirror of Feather Place's number 34. And you see what's in that rearview mirror. Busy, busy, busy here at Martinsville for Feather Place in the number 34.
It's one of those tracks where you don't really get an off moment. You're always on edge.
Gaiman actually lost a spot there to Breo. His teammate, his team boss, got ahead of him there for the 7th position. Now Breo's trying to move his way forward as Wanzing.
Gonna try to capitalize.
Yeah, Wanzing battling with Gaiman now, and Gaiman pushed wide by Wanzing.
Yep, and that's gonna open the door for Feemster. So Gaiman not happy because he probably could have got clear Feemster. Now he's gonna be under pressure from Feemster on the inside.
Yeah.
So it's just from bad to worse, and that just shows the training effect around here. If you get hung out to dry on that outside,
it
cars
takes forever to get back in.
Yeah. He's got to hope a teammate lets you in, or eventually someone makes a mistake and lets you in. And luckily, he'll outrun Feemster here, so he'll be able to get back in.
You see how quickly he got to the bottom to avoid, to cut off Feemster from making a charge at the bottom. But those are the kind of moves you have to make there.
Got to be a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
Because right now he's 9th in the current stage points, and if he fell one spot back, he'd be getting possibly no stage points if he wasn't lucky.
At the front of the field, it's Tommy Reynolds. He's caught up to Ryan Purnell. And the lap traffic slowed him down just a little bit. It's allowed Estes to get close within half a second. Purnell will become the first driver a lap down at the moment. And Ryan Pennell at this point kind of hoping that it stays that way until the end of stage 1. As we kind of pull up, like, when stage 1 ends, I'm running really low on energy here. Lap 50 is the end of stage 1, so we're approaching the end of that stage.
He should be good because the next lap car would be Tommy Withers, and he's currently entering 1 as we speak, fighting Garrison. So unless Tommy Reynolds can really throw a couple good laps, clean laps down here, or if Garrison backs up Withers, there's no real chance of any threat of him going 1 down here. So Pennell going to be in the catbird seat at least for here to get his lap back.
Yeah, really good job there for Ryan Pennell, just kind of getting lucky as Garrison actually almost loses it.
Oh, and
he does lose it.
Yep.
He's stuck in the outside lane. They're going to let it go. Pennell's going to go by there. You saw him on the inside lane. Garrison going to try to keep it fired up and ready to go. There'll be a window for him to move, and he's just going to tow.
Yeah.
He's just going to tow. He's just not going to be an issue there. They're going to stay green.
Yeah, one positive. Costin's coming quick here, so he won't lose as many laps with that tow as he would if it was all green. So at least maybe a smart game there, not risking it because he'll probably be stuck up there till 50 anyway.
Yeah.
But coming to lap 50 here, we got 1 more to go. It's Reynolds and Estes, and Flea will be frozen as soon as Reynolds crosses the line. So for some drivers in the back right now, fighting for position, including Ray and Wright for 4th, it's going to be a fight to the end. There we go. And there's Breo there for the conclusion.
And Feather Place and Wansing.
And Reynolds is about to cross the line now.
And there's a caution. And David Wright will have that 4th spot.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be Reynolds, Estes, Purnell, Wright, Ray, Breo, Feather Place, Wansing, Sears, Homebrink, your top 10.
I have Feimster.
Yeah,
I believe Feimster was top 10 there. Yeah.
You are correct. Timing scoring is now updating for me as well. Had a little bit of a glitch there, but we're good. Probably should just give the overlay a little reload here.
It gives us a chance to take a little break. 3rd caution of the race on lap 50. Making phenomenal pace here. Obviously, everyone was kind of concerned. Obviously, you think about the races we've had so far this weekend. Twiggy, overall, not happy with how their race went this weekend. 14 cautions in that race. 14 cautions last night in the SNS event. Only 3 so far in 50 laps. We're on pace as things run. 9 cautions or less. It's not a bad margin to be at right now, and obviously these drivers have been minding their P's and Q's and letting the race come to them. This is the pinnacle of ARCS Star Car competition for a reason. These drivers, when they get to it, phenomenal stuff. And Matthew Leiter are going to stick out and lead a lap here.
I was going to say, yeah, he's stuck out there. He's obviously probably going to come in next time by to come in and take his service, as it would be kind of silly not to. Yet he's taken the right in that Trevor Project machine. He'll come on in. So he will lead 1. Actually, will he lead a lap? Because no, those 2, Rupert and the other one, are a lap down. So they're the wave round. So yeah, he will lead this lap in accordance.
Yeah, well, he's going to cross our finish line here. Yep, there he goes.
He made it. Yeah, because Reynolds just crossed it now.
I think he missed his pit box.
Oh, no, it's right there. That floating one there. Yeah, he missed it.
Yeah, I think he realized he wasn't going to get the lap point for leading a lap until because his pit box is literally the last box before the start finish line. So he had to stay out and run an extra lap, but he's only able to pit down this time.
Yeah.
And take service, but he wanted that point for leading a lap 100%. That's what he did.
Oh, he's not coming.
Because he pitted on the 28. He pitted on the 2nd caution. I'm surprised he didn't come back in.
Yeah, that's very odd. Then why not just stay out if you... Very odd.
He upgraded himself from 1st to 11th by taking nothing.
It's a net gain.
Stonks.
Look on the bright side. That car gets some extra little screen time, so I think he's happy in the long term.
Oh, let's see if he actually does come in this time. He didn't take service at all.
No, he's coming.
Staying out.
So we got the shoes
up there.
Yeah, we got the shoes up front here. We got Reynolds and Estes taking low, Purnell going high, repeat of fortune. This time, though, Wright going to go low and Ray going to go high.
Two cars
So
getting
top-
a wave around here. Oberstadt and Rupert got wave arounds there. They were ahead of the leaders, so they will join the tail end of the line.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be on the inside lane.
Oh, we're going to get a delay here, so we're going to get one extra lap
Yeah, they're
here
letting
to
the
allow them to
lap
get caught up.
cars. Yeah. Very cool call there. Again, shout out to Matt Kent. Race control, not an easy job, but he has been on it today.
Yep. Just a warning coming down from race control. Speaking of that, making sure they tell the drivers in question to choose before the line and firmly make that decision, because you do not want to get a penalty and face the wrath.
Yeah, and that choose cone is on the middle dotted line at the start-finish line. So, any late changes to your positioning, we'll see you get an EOL. Obviously, Kent saw a couple issues that needed to be addressed, so he took care of that, and we get ready to go racing here.
Yep, 19 cars on the racing surface.
Yeah, 21 on the lead lap, 24, all 24 still rolling. Green flag comes back out, and stage 2 underway.
Oh, Osterpinell. Oh! I think he tried to check
Wheel
it up
spin.
and he take the inside and then got wheel spinned.
Yeah, he tried restarting in first gear, and you just don't do that. You have to be in second gear, and that was
Well, that's
Ray.
Donald Ray.
And
What happened to Donald Ray in that case? He was outside.
it was Ray and Breo. Ray and
Wow.
Breo got together because Breo was on the very far inside. So stage 2 starting off with chaos. As Matt Leiter gets passed by Bradley Wright, and it is almost pandemonium here these first couple laps.
Went back to look and see what happens between those two. I think Ray may have either got slightly loose off corner and came down on Breo, or thought he would possibly was. Yeah, no, he got a little loose. Breo was there, and we're gonna have a caution here for another incident.
Oberstadt and Wright.
Yep.
Or not all right, but Oberstadt and Rupert. And here's what it looks like here. Oberstadt in the 38, Rupert in the 88. And Oberstadt, just a really late braking situation there for Oberstadt. Just sent it in a little bit too deep.
Just clean clocked him.
Yeah. And it's sad because those two are the only two that are on the lead lap that could have benefited from that. Garrison, he's going to hit the lucky dog, but he's 5 laps down.
Yeah. So two drivers fighting for the lucky dog end up putting themselves in the spot where neither gets it.
Yeah, and Osfordell's going to come down pit lane here, obviously. Obviously, he tagged the wall pretty hard.
Yep, it looks like Ray and Breo will stay out, so they do not get enough licks they need it necessary. But yeah, good tale of the scorpion and the frog right there.
Bryn Roberts also came in, as did Ryan Pinnell and Tommy Withers. And you see Josh Garrison, the free pass recipient, will get one of his 5 laps back.
Hey. Moving towards the right direction.
Yeah, not how he wanted stage 1 to end, but slowly chipping away at it here, especially if Oberstadt and Rupert step over themselves like what they did there.
You know, a few other drivers like to come in, including Bren Roberts, Ryan Pinnell as well.
Tommy Reynolds leads the way over Toby Estes and David Wright. Brandon Fairplay sits 4th, but the biggest gainer so far, Cody Riggs up 15 spots, and Matt Leiter up 12.
So we're going to put the choose up here again. Actually, one more lap. My mistake. We're going to have one more extra lap here before we get to the choose. We're on 2 to go. Well, 3 to go, now to 2 to go. So now 1 to go for the choose next time by. So I feel like, obviously, we're not going to see much of a different change between the top 2. Reynolds obviously going to go low. Estes is going to follow low. Question is, will David Wright, because Ospinell's the first time he's not been up there to take that first driver on the high side. So will David Wright fill that hole, or will someone else be a bit more daring and try to take a net gain? Here's choose time right now, and that's going to be David Wright. He's going to be the lucky soul, the lucky participant that's going to take the front row here on the high side and try his chances. Car coming in. We're going to be on the restart zone here. Green flag in the air, and away we go. And oh, that's Joshua Gaiman ended up losing it. A bit of a wheel spin situation, and it's going to cause a stack up. Toby S is going to pile on in, and that's going to be the 74 Abreu also involved. So a bunch of cars that are involved. Just one bad wheel spin. We're going to see if the leader's going to have to try to avoid a few cars still stationary on that front stretch. But similar to Heat 1, where we saw Feemster kind of just have that mistake and looped it in front of the backpack, same thing just happened there with Joshua Gaiman. Quick number caution number 5 here on lap 68. Going to allow Brian Rupert to get back on the lead lap here. So we'll take a look at the replay here, and you're just going to see, keep an eye on that 61, that blue and yellow machine. There you go. Ooh, he smacks in the back of Briley right a little bit, and that just thing loops. Breo tries to get around and ends up hitting the outside wall. And the rest of the inside line just had to stop it to avoid too much chaos. So now take a look at Breo and onboard perspective of him. Yep, there goes the car. He voids it all right, and then just the weight transfer causes him to go to the high side and tap the wall. So 2 incidents on the past 2 restarts for the 74. Luckily, not the hardest licks in the world. And now we'll take a look at the 38 with an onboard shot as well. You can see a little spinning 61. Gets on the brakes, taps it down. Then Pinnell gets a big smack in the back of Bren Roberts. And he gets on the brakes and, ooh, close as you can cut it. And they'll take one more perspective from Bren Roberts. See the chaos happens there, and he just, yeah, there's a smack by Pinnell. Not going to do much damage to Bren Roberts, but you do wonder, Lost Belt just came out of pit lane, did not burn a fast repair, I believe, and that car's already got a little bit more damage on it, so not been the greatest past 2 cautions for a few drivers, including Austin Pinnell and Jeremy Breo, but we'll keep it rolling here on lap 70 for the 5th caution of the night. So there's a choose code in effect there. Obviously, Gaiman is the wave around car here. He will go on restart, and it's going to be David Wright lining up on the outside again. So similar top 6 to what we saw previously. We may get extended 1 lap here to allow Gaiman to get caught back up here. We'll have to wait and see if that is called. And yep, we will get an extension here. So 1 more extra lap here. We're getting the extension to bunch it back up. So, quick little reset of the field. It's Reynolds right on the front row with Estes and Feather Place row number 2, and Feemster and Wanzing row 3, and that will make up your top 6 here. So a little ways away from stage number 2 break, but here on lap 72, coming to 73, we'll be under action again. Green flag in the air, and away we go for next restart here as Tommy Reynolds gets a good jump there, and SS and White are going to be side by side for second position. Shaking up a little bit in the back. The Alpha George kind of slightly clips the wall, but he'll keep it straight. We race on. Oh, better place. Going to fall off kind of aggressively here. Going to be under pressure for 4th position. Smoke their car on the high lock there. Right, had that mistake as we saw on shot. He's entering the pit lane here. So not what David Wright wanted to see. There's Seth Wanzer, in-car reported here as Briley Wright trying to make a move on James Kerr. Oh, and that's James Kerr hitting the wall. He's going to hit the inside wall. We'll keep it green as it's only one car. He's on the low side here. Going to try to fire it around here. He's got a good gap here to back it up. Leaders are currently on the backstretch, entering 3, coming out of 4 now. That'll not really be a threat for James Kerr to get it turned around. There's the track map. You can see, yeah, he'll get it refired back up. Battle is forming between, Donald Ray here, a little bit further back, but it looks like Ray's holding out. Yeah, there's the lead of Tommy Reynolds, going to try to make quick work of the 75 because he does have Toby Estes kind of close here. Oh, there's 2 lap vehicles right there. David Wright and James Kerr. Is that Toby Estes is going to try to maybe force the issue here to try to keep up with Tommy Reynolds. And that's going to be a yellow flag here. It looks like Stefan Oberstadt had a crash here, as long with maybe Withers and Mulkey as well.
Looks like Josh Gaiman involved in it as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep. It was Tommy Withers, I think, was the cause of this one. So we'll take a look at the replay here. Yep, that's going to be Tommy Withers here. You just see kind of what happens here. Coming into 3 and 4. Oh, no, it was actually Mulkey. And then, yep, my mistake. A little lap later there. Oh, and just big couple cars are getting stuck in that. Mulkey and Oberstop will trigger the caution there. Take an onboard shot here. Joshua Gaiman. See Mulkey kind of lose on his own. It just causes a stack up. And Gaiman luckily gets on the brakes there. Doesn't really get much ill effect from this as other cars. You saw Tommy Withers' full front bumper fly off there. So Gaiman thanking his lucky stars. He's able to avoid a lot of the chaos. So back to live action here, on lap 82. Back to the front here. You can see that's Toby Estes, Tommy Reynolds, still 1-2. Been 1-2 for most of this race. We're not going to get choose this time by. We're not at 2 to go quite yet. See a few drivers on pit lane. That is James Kerr is one of them. He will actually end up leaving the pit lane right now. So here's the choose on effect. Reynolds, Estes going low. Feather Place, Feimster going high. Wanzing, Sears, all going low as well. So a lot of drivers taking that low side. And that's going to allow, I think that is the 20 of Homebrink to really kind of capitalize there and kind of cut the line here. Only downside is, though, is if he can't get low before that inside line kind of links up, he's going to be quite ill-affected. There we go for the next restart of the night on lap 84, coming to 85. Green flag in the air, and away we go. And Feather Place gets a little wheel spinny. And we'll leave him open the door here for Toby Estes. Reynolds will do what he's done pretty much all the other restarts, clear onto the inside. See Feimster that gets a little bit squirrely. He's going to end up losing a spot here. Could be under pressure from Cody Riggs at number 3. But there's Seth Wanzing. Feather Place will slot in the 3rd, and you can see more chaos in the back there. So there's Toby Estes holding 2nd, 3rd. It's kind of holding out single file there. I think Homebrink again just kind of clipped the wall just slightly, but keeps straight. Yep, there's Homebrink right there. If had a little bit of a bad reaction, you can see him just getting trained, and maybe which kind of shows why the drivers in question did not want to line up on the high side, as he's basically lost all the spots he's gained from kind of cutting the queue. It's just looking for a way down. He may not get the reprieve here, as Brandon Roberts is just going to be on the inside. Luckily, he should get it down. He will get it down. As long as he sticks to the bottom, he will. As Bradley right there gets passed for position by Jeremy Braille, and that's 74. There's our top 3 right now. Reynolds, Estes, Feather Place, all holding station. And Toby Estes really hasn't had, he's had a good car tonight. Definitely a top 3 car, but he just hasn't really had the ability. We'll have a caution here. Looks like it was for Briley Wright, the number 8. Yeah, he had an incident on the backstretch there. And there's Jack Mulkey. He was also involved as well. It's just been a bit of a chain effect. And we'll take a look at the replay here. There's Briley Wright. And I got a feeling, I saw the replay, what happened. We'll take a look. And, yep, car kicked it on the backstretch, similar to what happened to Bren Roberts. They all tried to avoid it. Mulkey just couldn't make it through the sliding door closing. And there's David Wright as well piling in. So 3 cars involved. As you can see, as we kind of cut late there, you can see that at the end, Mulkey ended up getting a little bit of a tap to get unbeached as he was stuck there. And he got it refired, so Bren Roberts ended up helping out Mulkey there. And will allow him to keep going. So there's the Lucky Duck going around the high side there. That is going to be the 83 of Leiter. He will be now officially back on the lead lap if my count is correct. Yes, he is. Caution 7 of the night. Stage coming close to a finish here. So we got a handful of laps to go. Obviously, not many drivers are going to elect to pit unless you have damage, because pitting here would not be detrimental to stage points. The only real advantage would be is you get the advantage to clean up on track position when the stage eventually ends, and most drivers elect to pit. So we're going to come out to the choose here. Same effect we've seen. If you hang to the wall on the inside, you're going to take the inside. If you go to the high, you're going to on the high side here. Oh, Tommy Red's a little late there. He'll make the choice, though. Almost fell asleep at the wheel. Reynolds, Estes low. Feather Place, Wanzing high. That will be your top four. So here we go.
5 laps to go in the stage at the line.
Green flag in the air, and away we go. Tom runs another great jump there. Feather Place could actually put a little bit of a fight here for second, because he got a relatively okay launch his own regard here. And you got Wanzing and Sears. Wanzing now going to hang it low, try to freight train Feather Place if the opportunity arises. Ooh, bad entry and exit there for Feather Place. It's going to allow him to fall into the clutches of Wanzing. Oh, there's a car in the wall in the back. That's a 75 of James Kerr. And he will get hit by George. That should trigger a caution. It does. And that will end the stage most likely.
Yep, that will end the stage.
Yep, so that will be the end of stage there. So final results for the stage are Reynolds taking home 2 stage wins here tonight, with Toby Estes coming with 2 second places in either stage, with Wanzing in 3rd, Feather Place in 4th, Sears in 5th, Feemster in 6th, Breo in 7th, Ray in 8th, Riggs in 9th, and I believe Jonathan Holmbrink in 10th position, so he hangs on to get the last point in the stage. And now we're hitting pit stop window again, where majority of the field will probably be coming in to take their service, but we'll see at least one more pit stop before we see the checker flag at lap 200. A little bit of a race recap. Stage 2 a little bit more messy than stage 1. As obviously we come close to pay dirt, sometimes tempers flares. Tommy Reynolds missed his bot. That is the mistake there by the 7 and could put him under pressure here from losing spots on pit lane. Keep an eye on it and see what happens. There's Feather Place, and he will get out ahead first, and Sears will follow second. Bren Roberts, Toby Estes, Seth Wanzing. So that is a big mistake there by the back-to-back stage winner here today. Tommy Reynolds, I should say, is he will not be leading up front and will have to find some pace in that 7, try to get back up to the front.
Austin Burnell stayed out. He pit on lap 93, so he has 5 laps older tires, but he pit on that last caution, so he's in a really good spot too.
Correct. He has a fast car too. He's on top 3 before that incident on the 5th caution of the night. We know he's got some power, and tire wear is not that important in comparison to other tracks. You can take a slight dis tire advantage and make it work. I think a few other drivers as well, like Bren Roberts, tried some different strategy to try to get up a little bit higher up as well. So it's the first time tonight we've seen kind of a completely different front row, with the 32 and the 34 having first dibs at choosing. So obviously Garrison and Mulkey will take the wave around here. 32 will go low and Feather Place will go high. Bit of a mixed bag here. And that's something maybe we'll see if we have a long run here or late caution and drivers take chances by staying out or taking 2 or taking 4, is that if you have older tires, you kind of want to hold that bottom, as we're going to get 1 extra lap here of delay for allow the wave around cars to catch up. But if you got that extra tire wear on your tires, you definitely want the bottom, because like we kind of said, it's a 1 groove track. One other thing while we have this quick break, I noticed in the chat here that Carmen was thankful enough to write up, is that we're only 7 followers away from 500. So anyone that has followed on the Twitch page or subscribed to the YouTube channel or followed the Twitter, thank you all for subscribing and whatnot. And I think Carmen's definitely grateful from the bottom of her heart for you to do that, as well as I. And we hope to keep providing you great entertainment and racing for many more months and years to come. So pace car going to take the pull off in here. Control is going to be on Austin Purnell and Car with foul place lining around the outside. Green flag in the air, and away we go. It's a good start there by the 32. Feather Play's going to fall in the clutches of Tom Sears here. Oh, 3 wide in the back there. Holmbrink gets kind of moved out of the way. He's going to have taken a few spots back there. And that's going to be a quick caution here. That was for... I'm trying to figure out who it would have been. I think it's the 22 and 23 of Withers and Alfred George and Tommy Withers. Yep, 2 cars stationary there, trying to get it fired back up. Yep. Well, Alfred George will go 1 down because of this incident. Tommy Withers will be able to stay on the lead lap. Take a look at the replay here. And on that 23. Oh, there's Alfred George up in the wall. Oh, he taps Rupert, gets sent, and nowhere for Tom Withers to go there. So really 3 cars involved in that incident, but 2 take the brunt of it. Alfred George, obviously the biggest loser, as he will go 1 down because of said incident. So Lucky Dog will go to Ryan Pennell. So 9th caution of the night. Obviously, pit stops just occurred under the last stage break, so only little drivers coming in are to fix their damage, including the 83. Probably more just top off, but also Tommy Withers coming in, and also Alfred George. All coming in, get some service, maybe burn a fast breath if necessary. Beat the pace car out as it just crossed the start finish line, so both drivers will stay on the lead lap, at least for now. Beat the pace car. Choose cone coming up this time by. Taking a look up front here, we got Purnell taking low, Feather Place going high, Sears going low, Estes going high, and Wanzing going low along with Rupert. So Tommy Reynolds, it's going to be up to 6th position here. You'll see the tail end of the yellow shoes here as drivers go high and low. Withers going to go high as well. Yep, there we go. So Pacer going to pull off here. A restart on lap 109 coming to 110. Green flag in the air, and away we go. And oh, Feather Place gets wheel spin. Maybe started a first game and gonna get ping-ponged in the Braille, and that is pure pandemonium. Lighter involved, Tommy Withers involved. Just almost half the field there in the back were involved. Donald Ray, Cody Riggs. Pick the names out of a hat, and that is what you'll have. Good chunk of cars there involved.
We saw it before, and we'll see it again. You can't restart this race in first gear like that. It's not going to work out for you.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at who was possibly involved, we got Featherplace, Leiter, Garrison, Breo, Tommy Withers involved, James Kerr, Jack Mulkey, Cody Riggs, Alfred George, and Homebrink, and David Wright. Joshua Garrison. At least, my count, I got at least 8-9 cars involved. And some of them have at least burned at least their only fast repair, so it does make you wonder how many of these cars are still going to be operational before next restart. So we'll take a look at the replay here. Okay, this is going to come to the feather place here. First car on that inside lane. First car on the outside lane, should say, in the 34. That yellow blue machine starts in the first. Gets weighed down. Gets a tire spin here. And it just sends him to the outside wall. And Estes gets around clean. Same thing with Reynolds, but Gaiman clips him. And it just sends him into Braille, and that's what caused the car park to start. Feemster sneaks out a lucky. Riggs is able to keep it somewhat point straight till he ends up losing it. There's James Kerr and Homebrink. There's Alfred George. He's going to pile in here and hit Homebrink. There's Ray on the inside. Just barely going to make it through there, but going to get clipped by Homebrink. A few cars stopped there. So we're going to have to choose here. Purnell going to go low. Sears going to go low. Toby S is going to go high. Wanzing high. Reynolds low. Roberts low. Beamster high. Riggs low. So a big old mixture of chooses here. Obviously, inside line is where majority of cars are going to go. But Toby S is first time he's been back up to the top two. Sends pit stops on lap 100. Gonna get a delay here to allow the other cars to catch on up. Bisgar going to take the hard left into the pit lane. Troll is going to be on Purnell. Green flag in the air, and away we go again. Purnell gets a good jump like all the leaders before him, and it's going to be Sears and Estes fighting for second. And Sears going to get clear as well. Now Tommy Reynolds, name we haven't said since that pit stop blunder on lap 100. Charge in the third. Trying to get the job done. Overcooks it just a bit there. Going to push Estes up the road just a hair. But he'll end up getting the spot gained. We hinted it earlier in the broadcast. Caution breeds cautions. These drivers need momentum. Hopefully we can get a couple clean laps in here to give these drivers some momentum to kind of reel the cars in. But right now is Riggs and Braille fighting. There goes Brent Roberts. He's going to loop in front of the field, and Gaiman going to get collected. And that's going to get caution. There you can see Ray hitting Gaiman, and Gaiman going to pile into Riggs. It's going to be these 5 to 6 cars involved. And Stefan Obasat still stopped on the front stretch here. Going to cause a checkup effect. There you can see the effects because Overstop was stopped right in front of the leader, so everyone had to check on up. But you can just see the smoke. So we'll take a look at the replay here. And we saw it in the live broadcast. We'll take another look here and you just see Roberts just kind of lose on its own. And then the big hit by the 38. So taking a look here from Cody Riggs' perspective here. See, loops in front. Riggs gets through, and then the car kind of starts to kick to the right and ends up hitting the wall there and gets stopped in front of the car on his inside there. Now take a look at Game's perspective. He's been a magnet for these wrecks on the back coming out of 4 here and just ends up getting another little lick there. Gets it back down, but then ends up getting tapped to Ray, and Ray in the Riggs. So 11th caution of the night. Look at the field. We got 16 cars currently on the lead lap. Alfred George, 1 down. Leiter, 2 down. Tommy Wills actually will come out, I believe, on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken. So all eyes are on this racer. Tommy Reynolds, dominant car all today, up to 3rd position here. Has a chance to strike, but will he try to take the outside line like Estes did, or will he take his chances and hang low? And it looks like he's going to roll the dice here. He's going to go high, along with Wanzing. So he thinks he can clear Purnell going into 1, or at least put himself in a spot to clear Sears, and then challenge Austin Purnell for the lead. There's the rest of the choose effect right there. Some going high, some going low. Green flag in the air, and away we go. On lap 125 here, it's going to be Purnell getting a good jump, and it's going to be Sears and Reynolds side by side. Wanzing going to try to clear Estes there. He's going to put a bit of a shove, and he's going to get shoved up the racing surface. Aggressive clear by the 9. The 9 couldn't make it stick. He's ended up losing 2 spots because of it. We'll see the B-Tron race machine of Jeremy Breo. This is going to be 3 wide here between Homebrink and 34 at Feather Place. At this point, no love lost between the drivers.
Absolutely bullied his way through that.
Ooh, there's Cody Rick flipping the curb there. 1 car still. No caution has been called. He'll get it refired. Basically riding that curve for 3 and 4. We'll cut back up to the lead here. Purnell, Sears, Reynolds, and Estes all under a blanket. But right now, if you're Purnell and Sears, the bottom is your friend. You want to hug it and just make sure you do not let it go. You can see also a little bit battles in the back. See Breo and Purnell fighting. It looks like Breo will get well clear of Purnell. As that is the train for 5th position for Feemster on down. We know Braille was a bit of a, I wouldn't say a bit of bully, but can be a little aggressive if he needs to get around, but how aggressive will he be to try to get around Wanzing for position? He's definitely a little bit faster than that 9 currently. The 9 gets a little loose off the corner, and that's going to be for Braille's taken. And Braille's going to put himself up 1 more spot, so we're phoning him up the 6th spot.
I think Braille's been a bit frustrated too, because obviously he won Daytona, but that's been one of the few bright spots.
Tom Sears just had a mistake in 2nd position, lost it off of 4 just a little bit. There we'll see Tom Sears falling down the 4th. But continue on with Braille.
With Braille, you know, at this point last season he'd already gotten 3 race wins, sort of the position that Reynolds might find himself in. And so far his only big shining spot has been Daytona. Which is not normal for the 74, really for any of the Beatron cars. Well, you look at Gaiman, as Gaiman almost loses under braking, wheel hopped it, but somehow kept it going. But those Beatron cars, you look at Braille, you look at Gaiman in particular, those two are the leading 2 on that team. They had 5 wins at this point. It's insane how much is changed just in a year, with them not feeling that comfortable and them having to be more aggressive at tracks like Martinsville to try to get themselves not only into the playoffs but to get those bonus points.
And it's basically a kind of a 2-point situation, because you got that and the constructors. Beatron is right now chasing Sunday Money Racing, as Beatron is 2nd in the constructors. So there's that aggressiveness. It's basically a 3-horse race, top of the constructors for Sunday Money Racing, Beatron Racing, and Bandit Racing, all within a blanket of each other.
Watch out!
And that's
leader
Pinnell.
spins.
Yep, Pinnell and the Reynolds, and that's going to be a quick caution call, and Estes is going to take the lead off it. Leader just went for a loop. Looks like S is going to have to get the spots back, and actually with the quick call, Purnell is going to keep the lead. But is not going to be able to pit here, as we'll see Reynolds and Estes coming in.
I think Purnell elected to stay out voluntarily there.
Fair enough.
Because Sears stayed out, Braille stayed out, Wanling stayed out. So I think there's a concerted effort there to stay out there on this pit stop. And this is just on his own. You saw he clipped the curb there as we rewinded it a little bit. We'll go slow motion so you can see him clip the curbing and just how much that just unsettles the car. Clips it with both the left side tires and it immediately shoots the car sideways.
A thing we've seen commonly through tonight. Again, with a quick call, even though the obviously 2nd, 3rd place pitted, quick calls would have net gained the position to Purnell anyway, but makes you one for in the window here, because, or at least at the very least, Reynolds and Estes think they can make it to the end, or we're just pitting the fixed damage, because I don't think Toby even got any damage off that, so. Bit of an interesting strategy call here. So Chu's going to be in effect next time by here. So really, that was kind of a bailout for Sears too, as Sears going to get back his 2nd position. Now Braille, though, going to be up to 3rd. And we just know, especially if we get to a late restart or a late caution restart, that high side is kind of the kiss of death. So it raises a question. How far back do you need to be in order to jump to that high side and take the front row? And we'll see here, and it looks like Seth, nope, Brayo's going to be the chosen one this time by, and he will take the front row. So it's going to be Pinnell, Brayo, and then Sears and Wanzing, and Ryan Pinnell and Donald Ray. Ryan Pinnell, a name we haven't said much of in positive light, up to 5th position here. Pace car going to pull on in. Green flag, and away we go again. Pinnell gets a little bit bogged down. He's got a lot of top 4 to get away here. And it's going to be Sears and Brayo fighting hard for second. You see Brayo going to get blocked off, but he's going to get enough of a run here. He could possibly, if he gets a good 3 and 4 here, could be in a position to clear Sears. You can just see Sears going to get the better one-line entry there. Again, still side by side. And there, the 74 will finally get around the 14. So the net gain worked for the 74. He's now up the 2nd position. Eyeline gamble worked, and now he's going to try to set his sights on passing that 32. There was Gaiman. He went for a late lunge there. Thought about maybe making a move on the car ahead of Feemster, but just couldn't really get it done. Couldn't get it low down in time. There's Tommy Reynolds. Oh, he's going to get a little tap there from Ben Roberts. And there's Homebrink and Curve scrapping as well. And they're going to be 3 abreast here almost. Roberts and Estes, and there goes Homebrink around the outside. Reynolds nowhere to go, and that's going to allow Toby Estes. Oh, and there's some collision, and that's going to be Homebrink, Wright, Withers, Garrison, Riggs, all involved there. The one that we didn't say in that thing was the 7. The 7 was able to avoid it. So take a look at the replay here. You can see Homebrink goes a little bit wide. And he just, comes in just a little bit too low. Wright was there, and he hooked right, and then it just kind of caused a chain reaction behind. So back to live action here. None of the top pack elected the pit. Only driver coming in is Tommy Withers again. Dog, I believe, is going to go to Mulkey. Yes, it is, and he will be on the lead lap. Tron Racing car has finished 3rd at Daytona this year. Going to be put back on the lead lap.
Guess the next question is, we're going to be restarting with less than 50 to go. What are the odds we go green to the end?
I'm hopeful. I'll say it that way. I'm hopeful we go green to the end. There's the choosing effect. Seth Wanzi going to jump to the high side. Breo going to take low. I mean, it's been a feature we've seen for the past 13 cautions. Car in second has gone low. Car, usually third or fourth, likes to go high. So pace car coming on in again. Gonna get the restart on lap 152 here. Green flag, and away we go. Wanzi actually gets a relatively okay jump. Sears and Ray did not get as going. Wanzi's got a slot in the third here, so not really much lost here. Gonna actually be a net gain over Sears, and there's Donald Ray gonna get around Sears. And we have a quick caution here. That is gonna be for the 23. Yep, 23 and 22 of Withers and George. That'll be a 4th-team caution. This is going to be a quick yell according to race control here, so this is going to be very quick. And nope, there's... So going through a bit of race control, radio control, team control. Shatter here. It's being brought up that if we get another quick caution here, we may see what we saw in the Twiggy iRacing series on Friday night. Some single file restarts. So we'll take a look at the replay here of the incident in question. 22 of Elvis George in that yellow machine. And he just loses off corner right in the right. And a few other cars pile in, and it's just trying to avoid it. The juice cone going to be in effect here. It's obviously safe to assume where Purnell and Breo are going to go. Will Wanzing check up high, or will he take low? He will go high, Ray will go low, and Sears will go low. So teams are going to try to mop up here. It's going to net the gain at least 4 spots. To answer your question, Dogman, Carmen is here, but Carmen's a bit under the weather, trying to save her voice. So it's just going to be possibly most likely me for most of this broadcast here to the end. But Carmen will chime in if there is something necessary to cover.
I am here.
Yep.
As you can tell, I am under the weather, but I am here. I've been doing a lot of more of the direction of everything. But yeah, it's been an interesting one. I've lost my voice gradually as the days gone on.
We got the next restart here on lap 157. Could be the final one to dial file if things go Ray. Wanzing and Breo fighting hard. And again, similar to what happened last restart, Wanzing going to check in the third and try to make a move for second. Quick little over-under, but not going to make it work. You can see a little bit back, there's Ray and Feemster fighting. And it's going to open the door for, and the train effect will occur, and we saw that happen earlier to affect to a few cars on that high side. This guy got trafficked, and they end up losing, and there's a little bit of a Feemster fighting back. He does not want to lose out, but gonna have to try to find a way to the bottom quick. There's a battle for the lead there. Oh, we have a car around, that's Riggs. It's only going to one car, though, so we're going to keep it green. But Breo's all over the back of Purnell. I think we're going to have a pass for the lead here. Breo is knocking on the door. 3 cars there. Ray trying to make it 4. Breo seeing his opportunity, going to take it.
Oh, he's going to send it here a little bit. Here we go.
Purnell could not hug that bottom. Late move. And he should get the job done. He'll get it clear. So Breo, for the first time tonight, will lead lap 161.
I mentioned earlier, you know, Bray's going to be a little more aggressive. At this point, he had already won 3 races last season, and he's only gotten 1. He won the season opener, and that's been it.
Seeing that Tommy Reynolds had a couple mistakes here, farther back. It's an opportunity to strike, and there's a caution in the back. That's game and around. Will they trigger a caution for that? It's one car. Yeah, that will be a caution. There's Mulkey as well.
Mulkey just dropped it as well.
Keep an eye on chat to see if we go double file or single file yet. I've not heard it come through the pipeline. It's really worth noting as well that it raises a kind of a question because we saw a couple restarts, a couple cautions back. We saw Reynolds and Estes pit, maybe for the final pit stop. And yep, that will first. I'll finish the point in a second. We are now going to single file restarts, so all restarts here on out will be single file. But it's worth noting that Estes and Reynolds kind of worked their way up to the front, and then after that slight mistake, couple back, they have not really carved their way up for the field. Those fresh tires to get to the front, with Estes only being in 10th and Tommy Reynolds being in 12th, respectively. How the new damage model is treating this race. It's been interesting, I say the least. These cars seem a little bit more on the tougher side. A lot of cars definitely able to make it out without having to pit for damages, as we still have plenty of cars still rolling. By my count, at least we have 20 still on the racing surface. I'll confirm, see, because I know a couple are behind the wall right now.
They also have a fast repair too.
Yeah,
so
that too.
Some drivers able to hold on to that and then burn it.
Yeah, because Briley Wright, I think, is behind the wall. Brian Rupert as well. Actually, I think Rupert's still here. So only 2 cars behind the wall are Wright and Rupert, as Oberstop is still, I think, going. Yep, he's that car inspective. So yeah, most cars are still going around here, with only 17 on the lead lap at the moment. I think 18 if Mulkey is still on the lead lap, which he is. So 18 actually. Yeah, because of the single file restarts, we are going to get no choose cone in a rule in effect to here on to the finish. So everyone will line up where they need to line up. So it's going to be on Breo's control here. First time he's controlled a restart tonight. Box, and away we go. Great jump there. Going to have no real threat from behind with Pinnell or Wanzing. Question is the first time Austin Pell's not been leading in a while. Does he have anything in that 32 machine to try to challenge that 74? And in turn, does Wanzing have anything he can do to get around that 32 to challenge that 74 as well? A little bit further back, we're seeing Tommy Reynolds work his way up for the field here. Being a little aggressive on Pinnell's bumper there. Knows he's got a fast number 7 machine, but buried in traffic. When Lop's ticking around, he needs to get up there quickly if he wants to challenge. Or at least need another caution or 2. And oh yeah, it just gives a big old shunt to the 12. Pinnell not gonna be happy. That's gonna spin Estes around. And that's gonna be our next caution of the night, up to 16. Carmen brought up in the chat, last year's A-Square Cup Series had 17 in the spring for cautions and 18 for the fall. So we're on pace to at least tie the spring race here. If we get 1 more and 2 more, we'll tie the fall race. We'll take a look at the replay here. Even though we saw it in a live shot, just Reynolds, maybe a bit of aggression, maybe a little bit of patience running thin. Just gives a little tap to the 12. 12 kind of goes sideways and just can't save it and hooks the 29 around. And David Wright piles on in as well. So back to live time, and there you can see Pinnell coming on in, fix up the car a little bit. Again, for those still sticking it out with us, I am Kevin Young, and Carmen Hardy is here. I wouldn't say in spirit, she's
intermittently on the microphone.
Mostly manning the cameras and doing the direction. Able to provide the great broadcast we're seeing here today. As we're going to bring you a nice, good old 28 laps to the finish here. Hopefully we can stay caution-free.
While we're under caution, kind of just pointing out stuff going on this week. HTL Cup Series playoff begins tomorrow at Pocono Raceway. We'll be live at 8 p.m. for that. ABN Formula Atlantic will be live about 8:30 p.m. for that. Feeder series for the Champ Car World Series. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's at Richmond. Mm-hmm. And then ABN Adden Box Cup Series testing on Wednesday is the next three things we got going on this week. So some fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that I can get over whatever it is I'm dealing with right now before we get really into Wednesday, because then it's just the weekend just doesn't stop. Ooh.
So we're going to have restart here again. It's going to be Braille, Purnell, Wanzing, Ray, Feather Place, your top five.
Big time. Big restart coming up.
Mm-hmm. Green flag in the air, and away we go again. Wanzing does not get going here. He's going to fall under pressure from Donald Ray. And Ray not going to really give him the shove he needs to get him going, so he's going to fall under pressure from Feather Place. But top two still clean on green. There's Tommy Reynolds under pressure from Feemster in the back. Ooh, is Brent Roberts? Oh, he's going to lose on the front stretch there. Does not bring it up for the field. Oh, he does. And should be a caution, and it will. That's a 17th caution of the night. One more, and it'll be legal to drive in all 50 states of the United States. So kind of a similar incident we've seen throughout the night here. One car kind of having a problem off of four, trying to save it, and just having problems keeping it straight. Because that turn four has been a problem child for most, as we'll take a look here. It's low. Opportunity to pass here. That's Reynolds and Feemster ahead.
Yeah, just tries to keep it really tight there off of four and just loses it round the exit right as it unloads.
And then that Garrison just nowhere to go. So there's Mulkey getting a lap back as he'll scoot on around here. A few drivers electing to pit there, including Seth Wanzing in the 9. Because all these caution laps have allowed some of these drivers up front to kind of save the fuel they need. As most of these drivers seeing in this top half haven't made their last pit stop on lap 100. So when we go greens, we're going to hit the 1 to go if I'm correct here. Yep, pace lights out. So we'll be coming to 20 to go here. Yep, Seth Wansing actually is taking it behind the walls. Our in-race reporter that we haven't really had much to say to today, sadly, is going to be calling it a night due to a connection issue. So it's going to be Breo, Purnell, Ray, Federal Place, Sears, your top 5. Right now, does anyone have anything for Breo in that 74? Pace car in the zone, and green flag in the air, and away we go. And Ray gets relatively good jumps there off restarts. He just kind of bogs down out of 1 and 2, though. In hole 3rd, Tommy Reynolds making a move on Feemster there in the back. That is for 6th position here, and he's going to have the preferred line. And he will get the job done. This James Kerr going to try to go around as well, but he can't finish it. He's going to tag Withers, and he's going to tag Riggs. And that is going to be caution number 18. And there's the 83 a lighter also involved. 12 Purnell. Estes, I think, was involved as well. So that will tie the fall race with cautions at 18. Take a look at the replay here. You can see the hole gets opened by Tommy Reynolds' move. Kerr tries to throw it in. Just gets a little loose off the corner. Doesn't really even touch him. Similar happened with Bren Roberts trying to leave space, coming off tight, and a handful of drivers also involved. Take one more look here from Riggs' perspective, and you can just see, yep, gets smacked. And then gets a little extra shot from Lighter for troubles trying to avoid home brink. So we're going to have the 2 to green next time by, so on lap 185. So we'll be going green on 187. So 18 cars on the lead lap. James Kerr being at the tail. Actually, Jack Jobs now Mulkey on the tail end of that one, with Seth Wansing one of the first ones a lap down here. So we're going to get the 1 to go here. And restart with 14 laps to go. So pace car going to pull on in here for our next restart of the night with 14 to go. It's going to be on Breo's control. And green flag in the air, and away we go. Breo gets a good launch there, and Withers already going to make a move on Sears here. He sees the lead. He wants the lead. He has not made any friends here tonight. A couple drivers are already not happy with him. And he almost sent a move on Sears, similar to Boyer on Gordon and Johnson back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, or 2010. But laps are ticking down here. He's just trying to do whatever he can. Other line power machine 34 trying to make a move, but we'll cut back to the race lead here. As you can see, a little bit of smoke there. Looks like a loop. I think the 42 of Wright may have looped it. He's going to get caught by the pack here. So he'll be high on the outside. You'll see him right there in that blue and black machine. As Tommy Reynolds will get around Sears and promote him up a spot to 5th. And there's also Spinell going a little bit high. It's going to open the door for Donald Ray to go through here. He's going to have to really take it here, because if he doesn't, he's going to have Feather Place and Reynolds on behind him. Donald Ray looking for a good point stay along with that 32. But now with Feather Place going high, it's going to allow Reynolds an opportunity to take the low side. A lap down car, that's Seth Wanzik, only 5, now going 6 laps down. Connection issues have plagued him. There's Tommy Reynolds, going to maybe throw one on Reynolds. They're going to be almost 3 wide here. Reynolds bearing it through there, and he's going to get the job done. Round Donald Ray, Sears is going to follow suit. So one line power car ends up losing out quite bigly, and the other one's going to gain quite nicely. And there's Wanzik around, going to kind of give Feather Place nowhere to go. There's Donald Ray barbecuing on pit lane. 9 to go here. Breo has got a 1-second lead on Austin Pinnell. And he's got a 2-second lead, about 1.75 lead on Tommy Reynolds right now. We're watching in 3rd. It's not a lot of laps left for that number 7 to really get up there. He's got fresher tires in both cars. But with 8 to go and laps ticking away about 15 seconds, 20 seconds a pop, there is not much time left for them to make anything happen. Just to keep in the back of the pocket, if we do have 3 green-white checkers available if necessary to these drivers. 6 to go, though. It looks like we'll be on pace not to use them. Gap has come down a little bit between Breo and Pinnell. It's now down to 0.8, but not making enough inroads.
And there goes Pinnell.
Oh. Yep. Pinnell pushing hard to try to get it. He's going to end up throwing away a lot of spots here. And now it's going to give Tommy Reynolds clear track to try to do something. He'll get it fired back up. No caution. We stay green. But Austin Pinnell did all he could to get back up to that lead, and that is going to be a kick in the teeth for that number 32.
And that is almost clear sailing for Breo, minus a miracle. 2 seconds now is what he has to play with.
And unless Tommy Reynolds wants to try to pull a Hail Melon, there's not much he can do.
Remember, Hail Melons do not work the way they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it would not work in the same effect. Plus, it'd be a disqualifying offense in the ARCS rulebook.
Yeah, Stewards would definitely throw the book at him, so do not try it. Oh, we got another car, so that's Toby Estes who spun it. We'll keep it green, though.
Yeah, Estes drops to 16th.
Mm-hmm. 2 to go. 2 to go here. Reynolds has cut down 2 tenths, but is not making enough inroads.
Here we go. Jeremy Breo. Caution comes out.
Caution, and that is
Ryan Pinnell.
Ryan Pinnell, and that is going to give Tommy Reynolds a fighting chance.
Oh, wow.
That is not what Breo wanted to see.
He
right
was
there.
rounding turn 4 for that white flag.
And like I said, we get 3 green-white checkers. So
here's what the caution came out for. Pinnell, that's Gaiman.
Oh, yeah, it's more Pinnell. Locked it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see why the caution came out there. Just unfortunate. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Because now we saw what Tommy Reynolds tried to do on Tom Sears on the opening restart. If he times this right, he's going to take a lunge at it. There's the lucky dog of Oberstop getting one of his laps back.
One of his 16 laps back.
Yeah. He's not going to net gain anything, but still putting out laps. Just trying. Get enough green with checkers, he could catch Tommy Withers. what's worth noting, kind of heard in the chat, there's not been a lot of radio chatter per se in race comms, because obviously keep those clear, but kind of makes me wonder what the team chats would be like right now with planning and...
I know what they are. I know it's not safe for work material.
Yeah, I know.
That is, it's what we call, it's the spicy radio channels is what we're going to be calling them there, because they're going to be hot. I have no doubt in my mind that a couple of those team chats have gone nuclear.
Mm-hmm. I know all I heard is the hauler's going to be quite active at the end of this, and I am turned to agree.
Creative Clash was last night, though. Get ready for the first overtime attempt here. It's Breo, Reynolds, Ray, and Sears, and for the first time, Breo's like, why can't this be a double file restart? Pace car is in. Green flag in the air, and away we go.
Only thing saving Breo right there is the good launch you get for being the leader. Times it right. Reynolds taking those fresh tires to school here. He's going to get one good chance here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's going to get... Well, he's got 2 good chances. He's going to use the chrome horn if he can get the opportunity to do so. Oh, he's getting really close here, but Breo really good exit out of 2.
Final lap. There, something happens. And there's the horn.
There's the attempt, but Breo, defending series champion, is going to keep it cool. Race win number 2, Jeremy Breo, as Gaiman loses it at the line.
Gaiman, Riggs as well. They're going to be a big pile up at the line here. Everyone just trying to get what they can get.
Huge accident there at the line.
Yep, Gaiman was the first incident, and Riggs had its own separate one, and that just caused all that. Top 3 is going to be, though, finishing Breo, Reynolds, and Ray.
Defending series champion. Second win of the season.
Win. And now is officially locked into the ARCS Squared playoffs. We said he had a bit of a frustration with him because so far the race is gone. Only had one real shining win. Now second one, that can always cure the blues. As Breo's going to burn it down. Probably similar to what we saw with Larson earlier tonight, or even Hunter Nemechek on Saturday night's race. He's going to burn it till it explodes. He's going to try to drift it all the way around. Just cannot finish the job.
Almost got it.
Almost. 80% of the way there.
Obviously, we have post-race interviews coming here shortly. That's where I get to do a lot of the talking. Or try to. So, again, we appreciate everyone tuning in and being with us here on a Sunday evening. Again, 7 followers away from 500. Absolutely phenomenal support. Thank you all for that. And again, we're active just about every day of the week. Tomorrow night, it's the HL Cup Series, and their playoffs begin at Pocono. Tuesday night, AB and Formula Atlantic at Richmond. Just a lot of stuff going on this week, so we appreciate it. If you're not following us already, feel free to follow us here on Twitch, or if you're seeing this on YouTube, click subscribe. The support means a lot to us. But hats off to Jeremy Breo. We'll talk to our race winner here in just a moment. We'll hopefully hear from all of our podium finishers here in just a moment. Breo, Reynolds, and Donald Ray. But a phenomenal job by Jeremy Breo to defend the race lead and get his second win of the season. Just a phenomenal effort all the way around. There goes the engine on the 74 car, but we're going to talk to our race leader, or race winner here tonight, and hear what he has to say. Jeremy, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You get a copy.
Hey, what's going on?
Obviously, I mean, we see that we saw the celebration, and we saw how the race finished there. Great defensive driving there in the number 74 tonight, but a very long race for you. Obviously, we hear you. Excitement there, obviously well earned, but walk through the end of that race for you and the pressure that you were feeling there.
I mean, I love green white checkers in real life. I hate them. I hate him in this. It's the worst feeling in the world. I'm coming off of 4. I see the white flag. It's waving, and then it just yellow, immediate yellow, and it's like, come on, like really?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me. I mean, they made me work for it, but like it was, it's so nerve wracking, and then you gotta calm yourself down to make sure you don't screw up the restart, and then. I mean, it kind of came all together there, and then I started getting nervous because Reynolds was behind me, and he full sent turn 3. Thank God I was on the brake, because if I wasn't, I would have just went straight into the wall. But good racing with him. I mean, I would have done the same thing to him, and he knows that. So, but yeah, good race overall with everybody.
Obviously, we know we saw this race win, and obviously when we had the green flag runs, they were good, but then it was caution to caution to caution. Josh Gaiman kind of shared it before the race in the warm-up, and Seth Wansing kind of pointed out something completely different. Wansing said that the track started off really tight and was loosening, whereas Gaiman said it was pretty loose all the way through. What did you feel of the balance was, and how were you able to adjust to it, and how quickly were you able to make that happen? Because you had the charge through the field and be a little bit more aggressive tonight, coming through the field a couple times. How were you able to adjust and adapt to that?
I mean, at the start, I mean, it could have been just me with a calm mindset. It was loose. It was unbearably loose. Anytime you'd even try and throttle up just a little bit early, the car would just go out from under you, and basically you'd be in the inside wall or you'd be spinning into the field. So, I mean, after the 3rd stage, somebody should have got a penalty that didn't. I got really pissed off. So I just drove really hard and just blew through that guy, and then after that I was still pissed, so I just drove the crap out of the car. I mean, I threw it to the edge every lap after that, and that's probably the only reason that I got up to the top 5 whenever that caution came out, where the top 2 pit. But after that I was driving pissed. So I don't know, maybe it was just because I wasn't giving it enough gas before. Maybe that's why it was so loose, or maybe the track finally came in and there was enough rubber on the track, or the temp came down or something. I don't know, but it was just way grippier there at the end.
Obviously, you won at Daytona, and then it took a little bit to get back to victory lane there. Now that you've gotten back to victory lane for the second time, and it's in a season that it's quickly kind of become established that you're going to need more than one win to be secure to get into the playoffs. Now that you've gotten that second win, obviously you look at the races that are coming up here pretty quickly. You know, what races kind of step out to you in the next couple weeks that really kind of attract your attention of just keeping this momentum going?
Dover, kind of. Yeah, Dover's next week. No, Talladega. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Talladega, Dover, and then Kansas. So the next 3.
I'm not a fan of Kansas. Dover is iffy with me. Dega's Dega. So I'm not looking forward to the next 3. I wasn't really looking forward to this, even though I won this race last year. Just because this is a different setup than we ran last year. The car is completely different. So, I mean, we're going to be running all new setups at these different tracks. So I hope it's better than what we ran last year. But I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the next 3.
Well, I mean, if you weren't a fan tonight and you still were able to pull out a dub, then it kind of bodes well for how these next few races are going to go. And obviously Talladega being a big team race. Last plate race we saw you guys run at, you all were dominating the top 5. So hopefully it bodes well for the team there, obviously going forward. But before I let you go and let you celebrate with your team, obviously it's going to be a crazy night in the ARCS community, but obviously race winner here tonight, Jeremy. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, obviously a new paint scheme on the car tonight in victory lane for the first time, but the floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough week, so it's been a really tough week for me. So this is awesome. So I got to thank everybody that supports me. Just even in my personal life, thank you to everybody. But yeah, gotta thank the sponsors, Fear Faction, for coming on board. This is their second race. They raced with us at Richmond. They're a new startup apparel company based out of Nashville. So go check them out. Use promo code BRIALT10 to get 10% off at checkout. And they have some pretty cool designs, and they're going to have a bunch of ARCS stuff in there. So if you want to support us, support the drivers of ARCS, shop with them. So, yeah. Got to thank Midwest Barbecue, Seth Wansing, and his whole family. They're big supporters of mine. So thank you to them. Sucks that Seth had a disconnection there halfway through the last stage. And then thank you to Smeel Racing Designs. He's the best in the business. Go check him out on Facebook. Get you some iRacing schemes. They're best in the business. Go check them out. And thank you, Carmen, for putting this on every week like you do.
Absolutely phenomenal driving here tonight, Jeremy. Congratulations, second win of the season. And the championship defense, again, looking very strong in the number 74. Again, Jeremy, enjoy it. Go celebrate with your team tonight. Race winner here in Martinsville, Grandfather Clock, once again.
Alrighty, thank you.
That was Jeremy Breo, race winner here tonight. And my voice is, bear with me, everybody, as my voice is completely shot. But phenomenal result by Jeremy Breo in the number 74 tonight. We still have the other two people on the podium. Obviously, Tommy Reynolds will hear his perspective as he tried to get that race win away from Jeremy Breo. Fell just one position shy after starting this race on pole position. We'll hear from him next. But a really good result nonetheless for Reynolds, as he had to claw through the field a couple times to make it happen. Tommy, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Alrighty, obviously a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, people kind of sharing their emotions in one way, shape, or form. But what a drive through the field, getting just to get back to Breo there to give it a shot to go for that race win. Obviously, we knew how quick you were. We saw you get pole position, and we saw you lead a bunch of laps early on in this race. There's a strategy call there where you pit in, and it was kind of a split strategy situation. Kind of walk through that decision process for you and how difficult it was making those positions back up after the cautions threw the momentum off.
It honestly was a mistake. I shouldn't have pitted in the first place. I kind of, as soon as I went down pit road and I saw nobody else came with us, I was like, all right, well, it's going to be rough. So I just hunkered down, and I knew it was already been a caution fest. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to see if I can make my way through it. So I just gave everybody the typical Martinsville deal and just moved them out of the way as I came to them, because everybody else seemed to do the same thing. So yeah, I mean, it was whatever. I mean, once I got to Jeremy, I wasn't gonna dump him. I mean, I gave him a bump. I gave him a couple really good bumps, but I mean, I didn't intend on just turning him for the win. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting race.
Obviously, I mean, for you, you're looking at bonus points right now. You're looking at like just going out and winning races. Obviously, recovering to second place after having to come back from as far down as 15th place. Not a bad result, obviously, given how difficult it is here in Martinsville just on a regular basis. You look at the next few races coming up. Talladega next week. Then you have Dover and Kansas coming up. You think about how difficult those races are. Obviously, at Daytona, you had to deal with the Beatron guys. It was 3-4-on-1 essentially with that group there at Daytona. Looking at Talladega next week coming right up, do you feel like you have the ability to do the same thing and possibly beat that team, knowing now what you've learned from Daytona and how that team operates?
Well, considering I accidentally dumped one of their teammates and tried to move Jeremy for the win, I'm not so sure, but we'll see. I'll have to see how it goes, but it should be better. I hate Dover, so I'm not expecting anything great there, but Kansas and Talladega, I'm looking forward to.
Obviously, the next two races are going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, already 2 race wins, so you're already off to a phenomenal start here for the Bandit Racing group. Obviously, Martinsville, very tough, but you show that you're able to put elbows out and move your way forward. And you know, people are going to have opinions one way or the other, but Martinsville, we know it's a bump and run track, and as we said in the at the beginning, as we saw at the beginning of the race, you know, there's a lot of good drivers that can make bump and runs happen, and you're one of them. So phenomenal work tonight, making your way through the field. obviously, you look at those next 3 races coming up, it's going to be difficult, but obviously you got a good team in Bandit Racing. If there's anyone to shout and say thank you to making this happen, usually you're pretty quiet on this end, but if there's anyone you want to shout in any particular order, the floor is yours. Congratulations on a podium tonight and on your first pole of the season. Didn't think I thought you'd had poles before this, but first pole of the season in the series.
Yeah, it seems strange hearing that, but yeah, thank you for the awesome broadcast, and yeah, looking forward to the next couple of races.
All right, well, Tommy Reynolds, obviously go, relax, enjoy the podium finish. Obviously, people are going to have opinions on the bump and runs, but that's Martinsville Racing, and as you said, the Martinsville thing is just how it is, and you did a phenomenal job with that tonight. So enjoy the podium, and we'll be seeing you next week at Talladega.
All right, thank you. You too.
That was Tommy Reynolds, second place finisher here tonight. Phenomenal result by Reynolds. Not so phenomenal result by my vocal cords right now, as they have completely given up the game. It's a Martinsville race, right? Like, you look at how this race is, it's Martinsville to a dot. 19 cautions tonight. Obviously, the admins of the series officials, obviously they're actively talking to drivers right now. There's a good group that are at the hauler right now, so obviously immediate confrontations happening, and obviously staff trying to handle that situation and make sure that this doesn't repeat itself, because we do come to Martinsville in the playoffs. It is one of the final races of the season, so one of these nipping it at the head. Obviously, Dover coming up in 2 weeks. That's going to be another hot spot, I think. Obviously, the staff have done a really good job of, if there's an issue, clamping down on it the same night. And that's happening, obviously, right now. And I think that's why we're not going to... I don't think we're going to get anything from Donald Ray tonight. I believe that either he's had those conversations already or he's about to have those conversations. Tommy Reynolds just went to the hauler. So obviously a lot of emotions, a lot of things in play here, but a really good showing by Jeremy Breo and Tommy Reynolds race each other with respect there at the end. Very easy to just send it too deep and throw it all away, but both of them, a lot of respect for each other. Former teammates for Team Sideswipe, and they come out 1-2 tonight in favor of Jeremy Breo. Just a phenomenal job tonight for those two, and obviously Donald Ray recovering to a third place finish. Really good result for the last couple weeks for Donald Ray in that number 2 machine. We'll walk through the full running order here tonight, and again, bear with me. I'm just trying to get through and hopefully.
Do you want me to read it off?
No, we're good. We're almost done. We almost got it. We've almost made the relay. Jeremy Breo, race winner here for Beatron Racing, ahead of Tommy Reynolds and Donald Ray. Tom Sears, Brandon Fetterplace in 4th and 5th place for Line Pound Motorsports. Great job for that team recovering. Both of them had incidents at various points in tonight's race, but recovered to the top 5 for them. Kevin Feemster in 6th, James Kerr 7th, and Brent Roberts 8th. Brent Roberts, someone who's not going to have a lot of nice things to say. I think he's in the hauler as well right now. Josh Gaiman in 9th. Good recovery for him after being struggling in this race. And Jonathan Homebrake, he's one of those drivers. He'll get those sneaky results in, and this is one of those for him for Sunday Money Racing. Actually ended up being the best finishing driver for Sunday Money Racing tonight. So a good result for him. That's why he was brought onto that team, to be a closer when no one else was there. And he keeps the team pretty well in control there in the team standings with that 10th place result. Austin Purnell finished 11th, started on the front row, couldn't finish anywhere close to that. Got mired down in traffic and just couldn't bring himself back up. Jack Mulkey 12th, Ryan Pinnell 13th, Toby Estes 14th, Elris George 15th, and Cody Riggs rounded out the top 16, last car on the lead lap. Matt Leiter, 3 laps down for him, and then you're starting to start seeing a lot of the DNFs here after Seth Wanting, who had a disconnect, had a technical issue, but came back to finish 18th, 9 laps down. Looking a little bit further down, 24-car field tonight. Bradley Wright was the first DNF, 24th place for him. Brian Rupert also out early. Josh Garrison, David Wright, Tommy Withers, Steven Oberstadt also saw their races end early here this evening. But that's going to do it from Martinsville. Just a phenomenal job by Jeremy Breo. Again, race winner for the second time this season after winning at Daytona. He wins at Martinsville. Next week, ARCS the A-Square Cup Series. Next Sunday, Talladega Super Speedway. They go to the Mega Super Speedway, the haunted hills, the haunted plains of Talladega, Alabama. So they say. We'll find out how haunted and how spooky the restrictor plate package is at Talladega. Tomorrow night, HTL Cup Series. I'll be present. I believe Strixland Volstrix will also be there for the HTL Cup Series. Beginning of the round of 12 for the HTL Cup Series playoffs. Pocono Raceway, 8 p.m. Tuesday night, ABN Formula Atlantic from Richmond. Will be a lot of fun. Short track racing is always fun in those cars. I'll be in that race. Again, that's Tuesday about 8:30 p.m. Eastern there. And then ABN Admin Box Cup Series testing. The season begins next week, but this Wednesday, testing begins. It's going to be a lot of fun there. But that's the next 3 days sort of in focus for everyone here on ABN side of things, whether it's ABN or our community partners around the esports realm. On behalf of everyone here for ARCS, for Darkside Mustangs, Midwest Barbecue, Fear Faction Apparel, and obviously everyone here at ABN Studios and all of our partners, Agent Inc., Admin Box. Thank you all so much for tuning in, spending your Sunday evening with us. It's been a wild Sunday. Hyper GTP earlier, and obviously A-Square Cup Series this evening. On behalf of my co-commentator, Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Hardy. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay healthier than me, surely. But we'll see you tomorrow night at Pocono.